Hello clever people, and welcome to my review for Fantasy Island. So this Blumhouse horror movie is based off of the original TV show. It's kind of a spin-off of that, and this one follows the story of a group of people who were selected randomly to go onto this island where they can fulfill their fantasy, whatever that may be for them. And in doing so, they actually learn that the island is pretty twisted and that all of them are in danger. Fantasy Island was an early year horror movie, which those never turn out well. And I mean, you do get the occasional one that's decent, like Underwater or something like that, or The Invisible Man, which is an early one that I hear is pretty good. I haven't seen it yet. But you still, with a lot of the early ones, they don't end up being great. And this one was Blumhouse, and they don't have the best track record, especially earlier in the year. So I wasn't super looking forward to Fantasy Island, and the reviews were abysmal. I think that this movie has a single-digit Rotten Tomatoes score, or if it's double digits, it's very, very low. So people were universally hating this movie. So I went in with really, really low expectations, and I have to say, Fantasy Island is bad, but it's not quite as bad as I was expecting based off of what everybody was saying. There is some strange entertainment value in the movie, and I don't necessarily know where that comes from. I think some of the time it's just because the movie is so bad that it's good at certain points because it's just so blown out of proportion and cheesy, and at other times I think that the movie is legitimately entertaining. However, there's so many stupid things in this movie that I just couldn't get over them. Particularly the twists. There's a lot of twists in this movie. There's a lot of characters that end up being different than what you thought that they were, and none of them work. If you think about any single one of them for more than 5 seconds, you'll realize all the holes in them. And that's a problem for me because I can, try to not focus super hard on certain twists. I can try to suspend reality to a certain degree, but the degree that Fantasy Island goes, it's just too much. It's that the moment it's revealed, you instantly think of at least 5 different problems with it, and that's a problem because when the movie is trying to be twisty and cool, and where that's a lot of the suspense comes from, and it's just stupid, it makes the whole movie feel stupid. The acting in it too is pretty bad from everybody. It felt like all of these characters didn't really know what they were supposed to be, and I think that came just from the director not being clear enough with the actors on what the characters were supposed to be, and because they're all very one note, they're all very one-dimensional, and I think even if you had characters acting or the actors act in a different way based off of what the twists are later in the movie, that could have made those work even more, but it didn't, and it ended up just making the whole cast feel really, really weak. And also, Blumhouse totally mismarketed this movie. This is not a horror movie by any stretch of the imagination. Nothing about this is a horror movie. This is through and through an action movie. And honestly, that's kind of where some of the entertainment came from, is that sometimes dumb action movies can be fun, and I was honestly in the mood for one going into this movie. But I was expecting a horror movie, and there's absolutely nothing scary in this movie. And if they advertised it like an action movie, okay. But if I'm going in expecting a horror movie and there's absolutely no scares, then it really doesn't work. So overall, Fantasy Island, a lot of it just doesn't really work. A lot of the smaller parts, the acting, the technical elements of the movie, the screenwriting, it's really, really terrible. But I did find myself having some fun with it. Still, I don't think it's great, and I wouldn't recommend that you go see it. I will give Fantasy Island a 3.5 out of 10. Alright, that concludes my review for Fantasy Island. So, what are your thoughts on this movie, or what do you think of the original TV show? Comment in the comment section below, and let me know. I'm Robert Burke, and this has been The Clever Critics. Goodbye.